Hello friends, welcome to aimstoday YouTube channel. We are taking AIMS India live sessions for the students who are being at home because of this COVID-19 effect, who are not able to attend the classes in the school because the schools are not yet open because of this effect, corona effect. So we are trying to help the students by taking these live sessions. Today we are going to see chemistry subject from this different types of mixtures. This generally you can take as a basic chapter in the chemistry, like matter, symbols, formulae, language of chemistry, types of mixtures, and their separation techniques. These all come under different basics in the chemistry. So in this session, we are going to discuss about different types of mixtures, how they are classified, what are the different examples for the different types of mixtures. These all we are going to see now. Every day, we come across many substances that can be identified as pure and mixed substances. Have you ever seen any substance? I think daily from the morning when you wake up till you go to sleep on bed till at the night, we will be facing different types of substances and we will be watching different types of materials around us. Have you ever wondered about that with which it is made up of? Either it is a pure substance or a mixture. Try to understand the subjects in this way now onwards. But suppose the rice which we are using for cooking, is it a pure substance? The coffee at the morning which we drink, the milk which we take at the morning, are these are the pure substances? That we are going to see now. And we say often we have to drink pure water. Is that water which we are drinking is a pure chemically? No. That is interesting here. We say in general water that we drink is pure. But in chemistry, the water which is fit for drinking is not pure. Because that water contains some salts dissolved in it. Then only that is suitable for drinking, that we call generally as potable water. So potable water contains water along with some quantity of salt in it. So it is no longer pure substance, that we can say mineral water. So this is one of the kinds of mixture. So that we are going to see now in our topic, the mixtures and pure substances we are going to discuss now. We have varieties of food products such as rice, as I told, wheat, sugar, pulses. These are all different types of substances or food products which we see in our daily life. Are these all are the pure substances or mixtures? Try to segregate them into the pure and impure substances. Anyhow, we are going to discuss about that now. Let us see here. First, about pure substances. The substance in which all the particles are of the same kind is called as pure substance. So that substance may contain either elements or compounds in it. If it is having only one kind of either atoms or molecules, then it is said to be pure substance. If it is having only one kind of particles in it, then it is called pure substance. A pure substance is either an element or a compound. It might be an element or a compound. If it is having only one kind of atoms, then it is said to be an element. If it is having only one kind of molecules in it, which are made up of two or more different atoms, then that is said to be compound. Anyhow, these elements and compounds are coming under pure substances. The elements such as hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, etc. are considered as pure substances because they are made up of same kind of molecules. Because suppose if you take hydrogen, it is made up of only hydrogen molecules. No other elements or substances will be in that. So hydrogen is considered as a pure substance. In the same way, these oxygen, nitrogen, chlorine, and so on. These all elements come under pure substances because they are made up of only one kind of particles. Of course, some element they are made up of single atoms. Some element they are made up of molecules. Anyhow, they contain same kind of particles in them, and hence they are pure substances. It is given one example here. For example, element oxygen is a pure substance because it is made up of only oxygen molecules. Yes, here we can see oxygen molecules. We know as oxygen molecule is made up of oxygen atoms. Two atoms of oxygen combine to form an oxygen molecule. An oxygen molecule means all the oxygen molecules contain same kind of atoms in them, and this oxygen gas contains only one kind of molecules in it. They are O2 molecules. So it is a pure substance. Next, about impure substances. An impure substance is a mixture of two or more elements or compounds. They can be mixed in any proportion and retain their individual properties. So, as we told, pure substance is either an element or a compound. Then, if these elements or compounds, they mix one or more than two, then that becomes a mixture. So the composition of a mixture may be in any proportion. If you take two substances, one in the larger quantity, the second one in the smaller quantity. If you mix those two, that is called a mixture. If you take the first one in the smaller quantity and the second one in the larger quantity, then also it is called a mixture. So mixtures do not have any fixed composition in them. They may be in any variety of compositions. A mixture is one in which all the molecules are not of the same kind. Yes, all the molecules may not be the same because there are different elements or compounds are being mixed in a mixture. Then different molecules may be in that, different kinds of molecules may be in that. Most of the naturally occurring substances are found as mixtures. Yes, most of the substances which we get from the nature, they won't be in the pure form. Very few they exist in the pure form, but mostly most of the elements or substances which we get from the nature are in the form of their compounds or mixtures. For example, if you get some metals from the earth crust, they won't exactly in the same metallic form. For example, if you take calcium is a metal which we get from the earth crust, but calcium won't be exist in the same form. It will be in the form of calcium carbonate, and that will be mixed in some other metals, elements, and some impurities, some rocks. These all will be there. So in this way, most of the substances which we get in the daily life, they won't be existing directly in the pure form. But from those impure substances, we are extracting these pure substances what we need. Here they have given different examples for the mixtures. The first one is some stones which we get from the earth grass or dry fruits they have given, and here we can see some food items they have shown, which is a mixture of so many ingredients, and we can see here some alloys. I think you know what is meant by an alloy. Alloy is a mixture of two or more metals. You can see here some alloys which are stainless steel alloys, brass and alloy, bronze. These all are made up of more than one metal. By mixing these metals in the molten state, we get these alloys. So these all come under examples for mixtures. Sometimes the different materials present in a mixture can be easily seen. For example, a mixture of sand and iron fillings. So if you mix the sand and iron fillings, if you take that sand some quantity into the hand, if you observe, the sand particles and the iron filling particles can be seen clearly because of their color difference. But in most cases, the components of a mixture cannot be seen easily. For example, I told here an example, alloy. If you see stainless steel is an alloy, so it is an alloy, stainless steel. In this, different metals are mixed, but we cannot see those component metals individually in this. So, in this way, in some mixtures, the components are seen, but in most of the mixtures, the ingredients or components are not seen clearly. For example, we can easily tell that dust is a mixture because dust is clearly visible in air. See here, dust is clearly visible in the air. So we can say this dust is a mixture. But clean air seems very much like a single component, although it is a mixture of various gases. Yes, air it seems like a single component, pure air. But even though it is seen like single component, it is mixture of various components that we call different gases like atmospheric nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and some other impurities, noble gases. These all are present in the atmospheric air. but it seems like one, but it is made up of so many components in it. So in this way, some mixtures are seems like made up of one component, but it is made up of different components, but they are not seen clearly. In some mixtures, the components are clearly seen. Next, let us say about mixtures. If two or more substances mixed together in any proportion and they do not undergo any chemical change but retain their chemical characteristics, then the resulting mixture or the resulting mass is called as a mixture. So if you mix two or more substances, after mixing also the properties or the characteristics of the ingredients or the components won't be changed. They retain their characteristics. Then that resulting mass is called as a mixture. There are many types of mixtures and we encounter them frequently in our daily lives. Yes, in our daily life we will be watching so many substances around us. They might be made up of different mixtures. Mixtures can be found in the liquids we drink, the food we eat, and the air we breathe. In these all, there are different kinds of mixtures. If you see the first one, drinks. If you drink a cola, it is made up of sugar, water, some gases dissolved in it, some chemicals added to get the flavor. So in this way, drinks we consume daily, they are made up of different components. So they are mixtures. And the food items we eat, generally, if you take food, what we eat, it is made up of rice, curries, water, salts, masala. These all ingredients are there in that. So they are also come under mixtures. And the gaseous state, that air we breathe. As I told earlier, the air we breathe is a mixture of several gases like oxygen, mostly which we take in, and nitrogen gas, which is in the larger quantity in the air. Some other gases like carbon dioxide, dust particles, and even some harmful gases like carbon monoxide in this rare quantity, noble gases. So in this way, the air we breathe is also a mixture of several gases. Some of the examples of mixtures are shown here. Air, yes, as I told, it is a mixture of so many gases. Brass, yes, it is an alloy which is made up of copper and zinc. Petrol, do you know as petrol is a mixture? Yes, it is. Petrol is made up of different hydrocarbons. You will be learning about these hydrocarbons in the higher classes. Hydrocarbons are the compounds which are made up of carbons and hydrogens. So, petrol, diesel, kerosene, these are all the mixtures of different kinds of hydrocarbons. And sugar solution, this we frequently will be watching at home. It is a mixture of sugar and water. Salt solution is also a mixture. Vinegar, this frequently we use in food items. Vinegar is a mixture of water and acetic acid. Solution of acetic acid is commonly taken as vinegar. And the smoke is containing some dust particles and some gases in it. Fog, cheese, muddy water, river water, hair sprays, shaving creams, these all come under, these all the things which we see in our daily life regularly. These all come under mixtures. So as we said, these are different types of mixtures. How to classify these mixtures? What are the different classification for these? On which basis we can classify them? Now let us see that. Mixtures are classified into two types. They are homogeneous mixtures and heterogeneous mixtures. First, let us say about homogeneous mixtures. A mixture in which different constituents are mixed uniformly is called homogeneous mixture. Means, if you observe a mixture in that the components are uniformly mixed, then that mixture is called homogeneous mixture. A homogeneous mixture has an uniform composition throughout its mass. It has no visible boundaries of separation between the various constituents. For this, let us take for an example. If we take a glass of water, if we add a spoon of salt to it, stir it. Now it becomes a mixture of salt and water. If you observe the water clearly, salt particles are not visible. That comes under single phase. It seems like a liquid only. No solid salt particles are absorbed. That type of solutions in which there is uniform composition and there are no visible boundaries in the among the constraints of that mixture. Such kind of mixtures are called as homogeneous mixtures. And it is told here they have uniform composition. If you take salt water, if you stir it, and if you collect the samples from the top of the container and the bottom layers of the container, if you taste the salt water, it seems the same taste. So the composition is being same all through the container. That is called uniform composition. That kind of mixtures are called as homogeneous mixtures. Can you say one more example for the homogeneous mixture? Except the salt water. Yes, we can say sugar water. That is, we can say generally we say syrups. These are and alloys. These all come under homogeneous mixtures. Now let us see here. They have given some examples for the homogeneous mixtures. Puree, coffee. This is very frequently we observe at home. Coffee. You know with which it is made up of? Coffee is made up of? Yes. It is made up of water. Some water will be added. Milk, sugar, decoction or coffee powder is added. By mixing these all, we get coffee. If you observe, there is no separation, or we are not able to see these ingredients added in that separately after mixing once. Such kind of liquid mixtures are called as homogeneous mixtures. And very well known chocolates. These chocolates are also made up of chocolate and sugar, some cream and some flavors. These all are mixed in that, but they are not seen separately once after chocolate is formed. Hence it is a homogeneous mixture. And we can say even some juices, it is given here orange juice. Have you ever drunk? Yes, will be. So this is made up of by squeezing this orange juice and we add some sugar to that. After stirring once, we cannot see the sugar particles in that again, but taste will be same entire in that juice. So it is said to be a homogeneous mixture. In this way, the mixtures in which the composition is being uniform in the entire solution or mixture are called homogeneous mixture. And in these homogeneous mixtures, there are no visible boundaries. The components or the ingredients cannot be seen directly. Such kind of mixtures are called homogeneous mixtures. These homogeneous mixtures all are also called solutions. Of course, solutions again different kinds are there: solid solutions, liquid solutions, solid liquid solutions, that we learn later. Next here they have given some examples for the homogeneous mixtures. Let us see them. All alloys such as brass and bronze. Yes, these brass and bronze are alloys of different metals. If you see, brass is an alloy of copper and zinc. By mixing copper and zinc in the molten state, we get brass. In the same way, bronze is also mixture of two metals, that is copper and tin. So these come under homogeneous mixtures because once these bronze and brass are formed, we cannot identify the original compounds present in it. We cannot see copper and zinc separately in the brass. They made uniform solution, so hence they are homogeneous. Air is a homogeneous mixture. Yes, air can be more specifically described as a gaseous solution because it is a mixture of so many gases present in it. Like as we told already, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, water vapor, dust particles, some other noble gases. So the air is a mixture of these all gases. So it is a homogeneous mixture because there are no visible boundaries there also. Next, some more examples they have given: syrups, ice creams, medicines, face creams. These are also come under different examples for the homogeneous mixtures. Next, second category of mixtures is heterogeneous mixtures. A mixture in which various constituents are not mixed uniformly is called heterogeneous mixture. Means the components might be visible clearly and they are not uniformly mixed one into other. Then such kind of mixtures are called as homogeneous mixtures. A heterogeneous mixture does not have uniform composition throughout its mass. For example, if you take sand and water, if you mix a certain quantity of sand into a glass of water, you stir it. Even after stirring also, if you observe after certain time, sand will settle down, water will come up. So there is a visible boundary between the components of this mixture. Water can be seen clearly and the sand can be seen separately. And the composition is not same all through the container. Upper only water will be there, and at the down there will be only sand particle. Of course there will be some of water also, but the composition is not the same all through the container. It is not uniform. Such kind of mixtures are called heterogeneous mixtures. Yes, somebody is telling here mixture of water and oil. Yes, even water and oil also they want to mix each other. If you pour some water and oil into one container like glass, they form two different layers. They can be seen clearly. So that is also one of the examples for heterogeneous mixtures. Nice. Here they have given some examples for the heterogeneous mixtures. Salad, fruit salad or vegetable salads. They are made up of different kinds of vegetables or fruits. We can see clearly the components taken into that. So what kind of fruits are added, what kind of vegetables are taken to making this salad, they can be seen clearly. So hence they come under heterogeneous mixtures. Some curries, some these milk and the cereals. So after mixing also we can see milk and the cereals separately clear. So hence these all coming under heterogeneous mixtures. It has visible boundaries of separation between the various constituents. That means we can see clearly the components present in it. So with which components it is made, we can identify easily by watching that. As I told here, if we observe this fruit salad, it is made up of different kinds of fruits. There are some banana pieces, orange pieces, some kiwi pieces. So in this way, you can identify the components with which it is made. These are called heterogeneous mixtures. Some examples of heterogeneous mixtures are given here. Sand in water. Just now we discussed sand in water or muddy water. So what happens if we add some mud or sand into water? Even after stirring also, if we allow that for few minutes or few seconds to stand, immediately to separate the components will be seen clearly. Sand or mud will settle down, water will be seen up. So there the separation can be seen clearly between the components, where the mud particles are there, where water is there. We can see clearly the components. So it comes under heterogeneous mixture. Second one, kerosene oil or any vegetable oil in water. Yes, this also we have discussed. When we add certain oils like vegetable oils or kerosene oil or diesel, if you mix with water, those won't dissolve or mix one into other. Hence, they form two separate layers. As these oils are lighter in density than water, water will come down and the oils will float on the water. So, two separate layers will be seen. Here they have shown clearly water is coming down, oil is being floating on the water. Two separate layers are there and separate components are seen clearly. There is visible boundary between the components. Hence, it is also a heterogeneous mixture. Next, let us see paint, soil, blood, some solutions, iron fillings and sulfur mixture, dyes. These all come under heterogeneous mixtures. Yes, the soil which we see regularly, it is made up of different components. If we take some soil into hand and if we observe, it may contain some clay, some sand particles, some stones, some dirt particles, some pieces of wood. These all will be seen in the soil. So soil is a mixture of so many components and these components are seen clearly and hence it is a heterogeneous mixture. Some they have given here cool drinks in water. Cool drinks in water comes under homogeneous mixtures, not heterogeneous, because they will be mixed easily immediately. Ice cubes in cola. Yes, when you drink in cool drinks like cola and cokes in summer, to get the chillness, we add some ice cubes into that. but these ice cubes are visible clearly in the cold drink. So there is a difference in the two components visibility. So hence it comes under heterogeneous mixture. Next, as we discussed earlier, like some salads like fruit salads and vegetable salads, they come under heterogeneous mixtures because in these salads we can see the components clearly, and the components are having visible boundaries. They can be separated easily by washing. Some examples for mixtures and their constraints are given here. Let us see here once again those. Of course, we have seen about soil already. It is made up of some sand, particles, clay, decayed remains of plants and animals, and some stones. These all will be there in the soil. And if you see milk, it is made up of water and fat particles. If you see seawater, mostly as we know, seawater is salty because that is containing large amounts of salts like sodium chloride and magnesium chloride dissolved. The larger quantity is sodium chloride, and the remaining salts also present in some smaller quantities like magnesium chloride and this potassium chloride. This will be there. River water. Of course, river water is also a mixture because the river water is containing some minerals in this, some dust particles because it is flowing from one place to one other place. While flowing, it dissolves so many minerals into it. Next one, river water. Yes, we discussed sugarcane juice. So in summer, we will be often drinking the sugarcane juice that is containing, actually the sugarcane contains some sugar in that, water will be in the sugarcane, and some cane, small particles of cane also will be in that. So it is a mixture. Air, already we discussed about it. Air is a mixture of several gases like nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, water vapor, and some other gases like noble gases. These all will be there in that. So it is a mixture. And smoke, it is a composite of carbon particles, ash particles, and some gases will be in the smoke like carbon dioxide and even carbon monoxide also. So these all are the components of smoke. Hence it is a mixture. So this is a flow chart about the classification of matter. If here we discussed about now mixtures. Even we told at the starting pure substances and impure substances. So the pure substance is made up of only one kind of particles. That might be an element or a compound. If it is made up of only one kind of atoms, then it is said to be an element. If it is made up of only one kind of molecules, then it is said to be a compound. And there you have to understand one thing: if the molecule is made up of different atoms, then that is said to be compound. If that compound containing only one kind of molecule, then it is also a pure substance. So pure substances are of two types: elements and compounds. If it is containing only one kind of atoms, it is element. If it is made up of two or more types of atoms, then it is said to be compound. For example, elements, it is given helium. Helium element is made up of only helium atoms. If we say oxygen, oxygen is made up of only oxygen atoms. Hence, these all come under pure substances. And example for the compounds, they have given water here. Yes, we know water is made up of two kinds of atoms, that is hydrogens and oxygens. So hydrogens and oxygens combine to form one water molecule, that is H2O. So if you take water, pure water, it is made up of only the H2O molecules. And hence we say this is a pure substance and it is a compound also. What is the meaning of dyes? Dyes, nothing but the mixture of different colors. So color mixtures are called as dyes generally. These are used for painting and even hair dyes, and they are used in making of different substances like shoe polishes. These all, they contain different colored particles in them. Now here that comes under mixture. And next, mixtures are impure substances, are of two types again here. They are made up of two or more than two types of components, and based upon the ingredients, these mixtures again classified into two types: heterogeneous and homogeneous. In the heterogeneous mixtures, the components can be seen clearly, whereas in the homogeneous mixtures, the components do not have any visible boundaries. So this is about the mixtures. and different kinds of mixtures, homogeneous and heterogeneous. Now let us see small self-assessment on these different types of mixtures. So here is a question for us. Element oxygen is a, let us say options. What about the question here? A pure substance, impure substance, mixture, all of these. So what kind of substance is this element oxygen? Can you answer this? Element oxygen is it a pure substance, or it is impure substance, or mixture, or can we say all of these? Yes, earlier we have discussed about this element oxygen. Element oxygen is made up of, yeah, some they are giving different answers here. Yes, A is correct answer, because element oxygen is made up of only one kind of atoms, that is oxygen atoms. The substance which is made up of only one kind of particles is known as pure substance. If it is made up of only one kind of atoms, then it is said to be element. So it is elemental pure substance. Oxygen is yes, pure substance is correct answer. If you say oxygen, it is made up of only one kind of atoms in it, and this element oxygen is made up of only one kind of molecule. They are O2 molecules. Hence, it is a pure substance, not a mixture. So, which of the following statements is not correct about mixtures? Let us see the statements given. Syrup is a mixture of sugar in water. Milk is a mixture of proteins, fats, and water. Seawater is a mixture containing mineral salts. Common salt is a mixture. So, which is not correct statement they are asking? Can you guess? Yes, let us see one by one here first to get the answer. Syrup is a mixture of sugar in water. Yes, mostly all the syrups are mixtures of water by adding sugar into it. Of course, some medicinal, if it is a medicinal syrup, that may contain some medicine also into that. Mostly these syrups are used for making these medicines tasty, because pure medicine if you take, it will be very bitter to take. We cannot consume it. To make it tasty, they add this syrup into it. So these syrups are made up of water and sugar. They are containing two components. Hence, it is a mixture. If you see, milk is a mixture of protein, fat, and water. Yes, the larger quantity will be water. Into that, these proteins and fats are mixed in that. So hence, the milk is a mixture. Yes, most of you are giving answer correct. It is let us see once. Third option, seawater is a mixture containing mineral salts. Yes, seawater is salty because that contains larger quantities of salt into it. Most of the quantity, mostly the major quantity of the salts is common sodium chloride, and the remaining salts also like magnesium chloride, potassium chloride also there. So hence, seawater is a mixture. Last option, common salt. Yes, common salt is a mixture they have given, but common salt is a compound, not a mixture. So it is a correct option, because common salt is made up of sodium chloride molecules. If you take common salt, in that only NaCl molecules will be in that. It is made up of crystals of sodium chloride. No other substance will be in the common salt. Hence, common salt is a pure substance, not a mixture. Hence, the correct answer is here D, because they are asking to find out which is not a mixture. Next question. A mixture in which different constituents are mixed uniformly is called. While giving the definitions about the different kinds of mixtures, we told this. Let us see options also. Homogeneous mixture, heterogeneous mixture, both homogeneous and heterogeneous, none of these. So here only two kinds of mixtures are there anyhow. If you say the mixtures in which there is uniform composition in the entire mass, then that mixture is called homogeneous mixture. If it is having no uniformity in the entire mixture, entire mass, then that mixture is said to be heterogeneous. Here they told it has uniform composition or the constituents are mixed uniformly, then that mixture is said to be homogeneous. Let us see one example for this. It is shown here some tea or green tea we can say. It is a mixture of different components like uh, green leaves extract, tea leaves extract and water, some sugar. So by mixing these all we get this green tea. So but here the components are uniformly mixed and there is no physical visibility of these individual components. Hence it comes under homogeneous mixture and has a uniform mixing entire in the entire mass. We can taste if you taste this green tea, the taste will be same in the entire constituent, entire mass. So hence it is a homogeneous mixture. Let us see next question. An example for heterogeneous mixtures: sand in water, oil in water, sand and iron fillings, all of these. So they are asking to find the heterogeneous mixture among the given. We know definition of what is heterogeneous mixture. The mixture in which the components are not mixed uniformly, or to simply say, the mixture in which components are having visible boundaries, in which we can see the components with our visibility. We can say the components, what kind of components are present in the mixture. Such kind of mixtures are called heterogeneous mixtures. Now, what will be the correct answer for this? If you see sand and water, in sand and water, sand particles can be seen clearly through water. So, it is a heterogeneous mixture. Oil and water. If you see oil and water, when you mix these two, they won't dissolve one into other. They form two separate layers and the components can be seen clearly. So, it is a heterogeneous mixture. Sand and iron fillings. Here also, sand particles and iron filling particles can be seen clearly because of their color difference. So hence, these all are heterogeneous mixtures and hence here the correct answer is D. Yes, many of you have given D. So it is the correct answer. You can see here examples for these all. When you add sand into water, it won't be mixed into the water. It will be seen separately clearly here down. Even oil into water also, the oil and water won't mix and can be seen separately. And here iron fillings and sand, these black spots, so you can see clearly here which are iron fillings. So these all are having visible boundaries in between their components. Hence these all mixtures come under heterogeneous mixtures. So D is correct answer for this question. Next let us see which of the following is not soluble in water: milk, sugar, oil and salt. Which is not soluble into water? Is milk is not soluble into water? No, it is easily soluble into water. So when you add some water into milk, it disappears. We actually do say we cannot find the ingredients or components or these two, milk and water separately. They will be mixed very fine. So these milk and water, they are easily mixing one into another. So this is not the correct answer. If you see sugar, if you add sugar into water, after certain time, these sugar crystals will be dissolved into water. So sugar is finely soluble into water and forms a syrup. So it is not also correct answer. If you say oil, is oil soluble into water? No, oils won't be dissolved into water. They form separate layers when you mix them. So oil is not soluble into water. What is the fourth option even? Salt. Salt also is finally dissolves into water. So milk, sugar, salt are soluble into water, but only oils are not soluble into water. So correct option is now C. You can say here already we have seen this. When you add some oil into water, so even after stirring also, after certain time, so they form clearly two separate layers. Oil will float on the water will be down. So with the components are having visible boundaries, hence it is clear here oils are not soluble into water. So this is about different kinds of mixtures. So here, thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon so that you'll be getting latest updates about our live sessions so that you can be ready for viewing those. Thank you.